Celeb Secrets is hanging out with Lars and Sydney today. What's going on? How are you?
Good, how are you?
Great, great. Happy Friday. We made it through another week. That's got to be exciting for you guys.
Another week and another week of the song being in the world, and it just, it feels kind of surreal to actually have something out when you've been like talking about it for a minute and showing people little tidbits, and now it's like they can listen to the whole thing, which is so fun.
Yeah. And how's that feedback been so far with Always Falling in Love?
I would say really good. I feel like it's performing well, and it's kind of the first time, at least from the Yam Haus perspective, we've really leaned into like a fully on-the-nose love song, and I almost felt kind of like sheepish about that, but it felt really affirming. Like I love love, and it feels good to have like a love anthem out.
Totally. And Always Falling in Love is such a dreamy and romantic duet. What's the story behind this collaboration?
It all started on a cruise ship, which is not how every feature and duet starts. But my band Echosmith was playing on the rock boat, and so was Yam Haus. And this was January of this past year. And we met each other, became friends, became a fan of their music, and just got to hang out on the cruise ship as we're all playing shows. It's basically just a giant festival on the water. So we all had fun and said, oh my gosh, we should write a song sometime. And, you say that when you meet people and you never know when your paths will actually cross. But then Lars hit me up when he came to LA only a few months later. So it wasn't even that much later. And we wrote a song on a super rainy day. And we were just talking about the fact that we're both married to people that make us feel like we're always falling in love. I mean, that's where this whole idea came from a very personal place for both of us with our own lives and our own journeys. And we got to really relate on that. And then before I knew it, he was texting me saying that they were finishing it and wanted me to sing on it. And then we just slowly pieced it together, and now it's out.
Wait, that is so cool. And can each of you kind of take me through your favorite memories from working together on that day?
I really liked meeting Sydney's bunnies. She has really cute bunnies at her house, and I remember just being like, oh my God, you have a pet bunny that's just like basically a dog in your house. And it was like so cute and funny. And the word that pops into my head for the whole process is it was just very wholesome. And I think often as artists, we're, like Sydney said, it's really easy to write sad songs because there is so much wrong with, life in the world. And it's easy for those things to kind of take your emotional or creative attention because they're so loud in your face. It just felt like we carved out a song and a vibe, even just in our friendship, and like, getting to meet her husband and like getting closer to her world and vice versa. It just feels very like wholesome. And I feel like we're tapping into something there that just feels really inspiring. And so that day felt really wholesome. Like I just felt good and like more excited about my life than I did before we wrote it. And like Sydney said, it was a very like serendipitous. It all felt like it clicked really easily. But yeah, I think about her bunnies as just like in my head an immediate memory from that day. That was really funny.
That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I have 2 free roam bunnies, so that's what he's talking about. And they're just like hopping around the house, and we, started writing in like kind of my writing room, and then ended up just in the living room with the bunnies because why the heck not?
That's so cool. And I know, Sydney, you mentioned earlier that the song really captures the idea of being in love over and over again with the same person. So for both of you, was there a specific moment or experience that sparked this concept?
I like the way you memorized my number line was one that I had been sitting on for a little bit. It came to me in regards to my wife because she memorized my number. And early on in knowing each other, I was like, oh, that's such like a cute old school thing to do that I don't have, like, I think I have her number memorized now, but like it just dawned on me that was such a sweet thing. And I remember sharing that with Sydney. I think you resonated with that too, of like this sense of like, oh, you're like my person. And like if I were to be lost in the woods and somebody led me to a payphone, like I could get in touch with this person. And I think about that a lot with like something in the writing process that for me, I was just glad that it like spoke to Sydney too, and then we kind of like elaborated off of it from there, like what we love about our person and having a person, and how that's like us against the world is such a sweet, like I feel like on the bridge we hit on that with like, let it come down to you and me. Like I don't know what we're gonna face, but like I got your number and it's gonna all come down to you and me. Like I just love that sentiment.
Yeah, me too. And I think really talking about the different parts of a relationship is important too, because I mean, there is like a touch of melancholy in the verses of you're the roller coaster, I'm on board, and just like being there with someone. And I feel like I tend to be the roller coaster in my relationship. So I was like, I could sing that lyric, but also I'm like, I'm probably the one receiving that lyric mostly.
I just love when things click the way that they did with this song.
And your dynamic seems really easy, and you guys probably, it's so much fun working together. So Lars, I know it's the first collaboration though with Yam Haus for another artist to come in. So what made Sydney so special to be the first one?
Well, funnily enough, I remember early days of our band, we would, sneak covers in. I remember singing Cool Kids. Sydney was kind of like Taylor Swift level to me, like growing up and being a young musician and coming up in the scene. Like, I've known of Echosmith, so I was a little bit, is starstruck the right word? Maybe, I don't know. But when we first met, I was very much like, this is a cool person, and I did not have any expectations. We've always tried to avoid features and duets because we were maybe from a place of like our own pride. Like, we wanted our songs to be known because of us. Like, we didn't want to like have to lean on somebody else's audience to get like something going. But I think it says a lot about Sydney that she was the first person we felt like willing to want to reach out and see if she was down, and thankfully she was. So
what do you guys think are the little things that actually keep love feeling new?
I honestly think laughter is literally the key to being in love and staying in love, because I mean, it's so heartbreaking to hear about people who grow separately and they fall out of love. But I think you just have to laugh with each other, and even laugh at yourself and laugh at them a little bit. Not that you're like always like razzing each other, but I think you need to have a little bit of that, like you humble each other, but you also get to just be yourself completely with someone. And I think that leads to a lot of laughter. That's just me and my husband.
Yeah, I think there comes a point in monogamy where you realize you have to create times and spaces to keep like doing those things. And I think that's been a theme for me and my wife lately, is just remembering to, because we have 2 kids as well. So we have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and that's like the most all-in full-time, co-worker project ever. And it's like so fun and so crazy, but you forget to like just make time for just the 2 of you. And that's where like, I think like Sydney's saying, like with laughter, like so much of that is just like finding ways to romanticize and love like the little things.
For sure. And Lars, Yam Haus has gone through such a strong creative evolution from pop beginnings to this like raw rock leaning honesty. How does this song kind of fit into this next era for the band?
I think it hit on a lot of the heartland rock obsession that I've been having over the last like 4 years. I kind of fell in love with Bruce Springsteen and Sam Fender and Lucinda Williams and Tom Petty. And it's definitely, there's a retroness to it, but it also feels timeless. Like when you throw on a Bruce Springsteen record, you're not thinking like, oh, this is so like stuck in this era. It still feels cool and relevant today to me. And so I feel like we definitely, this was one of the better fruits of that case study for me. Like I think about the song Secret Garden a lot, and I'd shared that with Sydney when we were in the studio. I was like, hey, like kind of like looking at this song Secret Garden, which was I think in a pretty big romance movie with Tom Cruise. I can't remember the name of it, but I think we were chasing a lot of those references sonically. And I think that's something we're going to keep doing and keep evolving in, is just a lot of like more heartland rock feel, which can have like drops of country feel. It can have drops of Americana. It can have drops of just like good old rock and roll. It can be, it can also have its own modern thing. And I think when you chase references like that, the goal isn't to sound like that. The goal is to make something new based on what you like. And this feels like a good, just continued evolution in our sound, and something that I will want to put on 30 years from now, and I'll still think it feels cool and not overly trendy.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And Sydney, after Phases and your new chapter with BMG, how does this collaboration show your growth as a songwriter and a storyteller?
I think that this song, I mean, I'm just really proud of this song and, what we made together. So I think that it's really shown a lot of confidence in where I'm at now. Because when I was first writing solo music, I was very unsure and very doubtful of myself if I was even allowed to do that, or if I was going to allow myself to do that. And I think stepping into this song and this phase of my life with all the music to come after phases now, I think it just really represents this era of just owning where I'm at and having fun with it and not overthinking things as much. And that is more my tendency normally. But I think that this song, just how it looks and feels and sounds, really captures that in a authentic way. And that's what I hope to capture with everything that comes out next. And I do have a lot more coming next. And I think that this was the perfect transition to what I want to say next.
Lastly, we are Celeb Secrets. So is there maybe any like one secret or fun fact that you learned about each other while making the song that we wouldn't know just by listening to it?
Yeah, I learned that Sydney was pregnant before anybody knew.
Okay.
Because obviously her husband. And I kept it really secret, and she asked me to not share it. It was at, I think, our first like big content day.
Okay.
And I could tell you were like, I mean, because I've seen my wife be pregnant. When you're first pregnant, it's like very like kind of sick, kind of hungry, kind of confused, and that was a fun like secret, because I was just like giddy for you, and to hear you talk about the timing of it all, I really saw that too. I was like, this is really cool that you're putting this song out as you're stepping into parenthood and all those amazing things. So that was a cool secret that I kept for a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah, no, you did a good job. It was the day that we shot the music video and everything in the desert, so I was like, I think I'm gonna faint if I don't have more.
yeah.
But we survived. I was fine. But yeah, that's a gosh. I mean, okay, that one was like handed to you. That was a really good one. I'm trying to think of like actual secrets, more like a fun fact, I guess, that I was really inspired by. I didn't even tell you this yet, but last time we were together, we were talking just after we shot everything, and you were talking about camping with kids, and talking about like just having like a nice little like trailer that you like pull behind, and you can just like pop it up and have fun and like just have kids enjoy that. And I love camping with my husband. We don't have a lot of time to do that right this second, but I hope that that's something that we can like bring our kid into. So I've been like searching on Google little like pop-up trailers, because you told me about that. I'm like, I want to take my kid camping and just be out. I love being in nature. That's one of my favorite things. So that was something that you told me that you enjoy. Hopefully you don't mind me sharing that secret.
That's okay.
But I've been looking online now, because I'm like, I think I want to just like get outside a little more, and I felt inspired. So